We're going to talk about Keish Done Said It, because I definitely know I do want to end the show on like a higher note. So I'm curious. This topic is kind of similar to what we were talking about in the red pill, blue pill, whatever. So I'm curious to know how this is going to play itself out. Okay.
I can't wait.
All right. So the title is I Found a Big Baller.
Oh.
So we're going to see how this goes. So, hey guys, I've been on the dating scene for about 2 years now, and I've been having fun. I'd have occasional moments of loneliness where I want to be in a relationship, but I didn't think anyone was worthy of being in that title. Everything was surface and didn't get too deep. My previous relationship caused me to be skeptical. There was infidelity and abuse, and without going into it too much, it left me devastated, and I developed trust issues. That's worth mentioning because you may see the barrier that has caused me to be unexcited about dating in pursuing relationships. More recently, I met this guy who's a big spender, and he spoils me. The chemistry is great, and he seems to be a solid guy. He has a child that is 2 years old, and he is involved in the child's life. He's a great catch, and I know he has to be talking to other women. I'm more concerned about the child's mother since the child is so young. I want to know what you guys think. Should I be excited about this guy? How do I make him mine, and how should I approach it?
Big baller. So, when it comes to finding a young lady, I think it's different between dudes, right? Trust is a big thing. Can I trust you? That's huge. Like, that's major. So how do you show trust within the first couple days, in the first couple months? It's kind of hard, right? I mean, I think unexpected things that I wouldn't. For example, I'll give you an example. Girl I dated, she had bought me I think I said I needed a coat for the winter. I don't know, just a regular coat. And out of nowhere, I think the first week she bought me a coat. Now, it was kind of weird. Like, okay, you would spend this amount of money on me, and I know you're not having like that, but you would do it on me anyway. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, it kind of showed a love, I guess, that I didn't expect. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of like a big deal. Now, I'm older now. I'm like, is she kind of crazy? You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you do that? Because, I don't know if I would, But stuff like that does kind of help, but at the same time, like, it's hard to call. I think it's so hard to know these days, especially these days, like, because morals and standards have changed in just such a small amount of time. It's literally, I don't know, your gut feeling is that's really the factor now, right?
Repeat the question again.
There are many questions.
There's a lot, yeah.
But you can choose whichever one you want to answer.
Okay.
But the question was, I want to know what you guys think. Should I be excited about this guy? How do I make him mine? How should I approach it?
Because he's a big baller.
Because he's a big baller. Mm-hmm.
That's more like you got to answer that question. You got to really, you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't think it's just specific to me, because I could definitely answer how I think, what I think. But I'm curious because from a guy's perspective, I do feel like your opinion is valuable.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Because you could say like, okay, if you put yourself in this situation and you say, I am this person, what would make you value or choose this person over someone else? So that's why I'm saying it's not just me. I mean, I can give my opinion. I'm going to give my opinion, but I am curious.
How long is she known to do for?
I think she said it was like 7 months.
So what kind of person is he though? That's the question.
Oh, see, yeah.
So that's the main factor, right? Because I mean, you could be a big baller, but you could be either a dickhead, you know what I'm saying, or you could be a great, you know what I'm saying, influential, you know what I'm saying, powerful, educational person, right? Mm-hmm. And so it depends on the person. Like, who is he? Is he worthy of? Do you want to be chosen by someone like this? I mean, 7 months, I would assume she knows he's a good person, right? I
just hope that she ain't looking at the money aspect of things.
Never look at the money.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Ever look at the money.
Certain people do. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that she isn't blinded by the lifestyle or things that the dude could provide for her. I really hope that she's being her true self and still have her morals together in order to, you know, have this individual like her. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole thing. Because I see today, you know, it's all about the bag. It's all about, you know, what you can do for me, da-da-da-da. But are you really there for the person? What do you bring to the table for that person to, you know, want you? That's real. That's just how I think of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, my opinion, I think the way I see it is I'm like, don't sweat it too much. Don't try to make him bigger than what he really is, in the sense that I'm like, he seems like a great catch. Mm-hmm. It does seem like a great catch. Like, yes, I say go for it. But I think at the end of the day, don't make him the one, like the, oh my God, this is the prize, as in this is the person that I need to go and get. Like, I feel like when you put someone on that pedestal, especially as a woman perspective, because a man, yes, I can agree, like, yes, because, you know, she's the prize, sure. But I think as a woman, when you put him on the pedestal of, oh my gosh, like, he's all of these things, I think that's when you start to, like, lose like the idea of, like, okay, I'm the prize, so I'm going to have him come get me. Yeah. Because he's going to respect, you know, being the chaser more than being chased, if you ask me, because he's been chased, I'm sure, for a very long time. Yeah. You get what I mean? And so to me, it's like, if you switch the roles and let him come to you, you know, you don't have to play it so cool where you're like, I'm just good, I don't have to say anything, I'm texting back hours later. No, it's just keep it casual mentally, and don't try to make it about how much, like how you said, how much he has, how much he spent on you. I do say, though, it is something worth thinking about and looking at when it does come to money, because you can sometimes tell when a man values based off how he spends his money. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so if he's spending it on you, I'm like, you can kind of tell that that's maybe what he wants, you know? So that's why I do look at it like, pay attention to that, but don't make him the, like, oh, the one to get. So that's what my advice
I would say use that in like a 30% kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if he can spend money on you, he can spend money on another girl, too.
That's probably part of the
Absolutely.
game.
So it's like, some people have money and won't spend it, too.
Exactly.
That's another thing. That's why I say if he's spending it, you know, that's not a problem.
Know, I've always said that if you're in a relationship, consider both of y'all self as the prize. Y'all are both prizes. Mm-hmm. And
absolutely.
If you do that,
sure.
As a man, think of your wife as a prize, and that other men will try to catch that prize. You know what I'm saying? But as a woman, look at your man as like other women will try to catch that prize. So you both will try to big each other up and do stuff for each other, so that you both can keep each other in, you know what I'm saying, arms reach, and y'all both can build together. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Don't ever come in and believe that this person is a prize and you're not. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are both the prize. Right. Y'all are both champions. Y'all are both trying to get to this award that y'all got together. Because you will grow together if you think that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that in terms of everyone being the prize. Sure, I can understand that philosophy. Mm-hmm. What I mean is, in terms of the courting process, the dating, I do think that it should be more of the man pursuing, or like doing the, here, I'm trying to show you. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? Like, of course, you do things as a woman within your femininity to show, like, oh, I'm here and I want you as well. It's not just going to be one-sided where the man is like, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. But there has to be some type of balance, of course.
So give me an example of the female courting process. During that process, what does the female do? What should she do in that process? Like, in terms
What do you mean? Oh, in terms of, like, if they're dating and, like, if a guy is spending the money, what does she do?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so to me, like, one thing I feel like is really important as a woman is, one, to have a level of vulnerability to make the man feel safe, you know, to let him know that he is in a space where he can trust you. Okay. So I think that there is some type of, like, okay, like, you don't have to give up all your secrets and all your information, you know, all the time, because I do think that certain things are just not even important factors,
Right.
right? But I do think that to create a safe place for him to feel like he's a man,
Okay.
you know, like that he can be able to come to you and confide in you. You get what I mean? So that's the stuff like that I feel like I know we have. What y'all think?
Never think about the baby mother for real. I mean, it is important. It is, but don't let that stop y'all from y'all blessing. You know what I'm saying? If you cool with the kid, that's what's up. You know what I mean? Definitely keep him in mind though when you with him, because he should be one of the most important things in your relationship. But in terms of courtship, right? Explain I want you to explain what you think the roles are in terms of courting. Who should do what and how it should go.
Yeah, so to me, of course, I do think that a guy who's spending money on you, that's great. I love it, because I do think that a man shows what he values, what he spends his money on. So I do think that that's something important. I don't think it's the only aspect of what a guy should be doing while he's courting you, a woman. But as a woman, for me, what I believe, which I think is very underrated, I mean, a lot of people kind of say they throw it to the side like, oh, that's not a big deal. But I think that you should make the man that you're seeing feel safe enough, understand this is a safe space to, he should be able to trust you. Sure. He should be able to know, like, even if you're dating other people, he should be able to say, okay, he knows it, and I think he should be giving you the same respect back. I always say this, you don't owe me loyalty, you owe me honesty, period. So you owe me honesty. So if he understands, like, I'm seeing other people, sure. You know, like, he should be very much understanding what the circumstance is so that he can feel safe enough to be able to release, I guess, you know, in the sense that he's like, okay, I don't have to feel like she's gonna play me or she's going to make me feel stupid or silly or anything like that. I think that that's something that a lot of people don't often think that they don't often value that, you know, being able to have someone who makes you feel safe. And I think like that's what you get when you're in your true feminine power. Like you truly know, like, you can be vulnerable without being taken advantage of.
Right.
You know, I don't think that you need to share all of your deepest, darkest secrets. I don't think that that's so much, because sometimes it doesn't even have anything to do with the current relationship, you know? So I do think that being able to have some form of like vulnerability with that person, I think that that's important. I think that, you know, get cute, be dressed up, you know, make sure he knows, like, okay, you this is what you get when you get me, you know. But I mean, it doesn't always have to be that, you know, he should be able to see you with no makeup. I believe that too. Like, I believe as a woman, you should be able to show him. You kind of almost are painting a picture of what it would be like when y'all are actually together. So that's what I think. It's like, it's hard to say because it's not really these like set, like, this is this, guidelines, this is how you do it. Exactly. It's, to me, it's more of an idea behind what you're kind of presenting, you know, so it's hard to put into words sometimes. So I want to know, what do you think? Like, because
so, you know,
I'm
obviously
curious.
Big Ball is the title, right? Like, he got bread. So my question is, in terms of money, do you have a measurement or a range you think of importance that money is when it comes to the male courting a female? Like, how important is money to the courting of a female?
Oh, so to me, to the courting of it, or just because in general?
Courting.
Because they're okay. Well, to me, I look at it like this: if someone has money, that does not mean that he's going to spend money on you. Right. That's the difference. So I feel like it's only when you see that he's actually like saying, "Oh, I'm willing to do this for you," because he's putting his money where his mouth is. He's like, okay.
In the courting stage.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I do think that, like, whether it be going on dates or if he's like, oh, I saw something and I thought of you, I wanted to get it for you, whatever, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I don't know. Like, it looks very different. So to me, it's not that it's so important, like, how much money he has. It's what I think he's willing to part with when it comes to you. That to me is important.
Give me a number.
I don't have a number. There's not a number that I could say because I feel like it doesn't.
I'll give you a scenario. So, like, we talking about gifts? We talking about, like, dates? Or we talking about?
Both.
Okay.
What do you,
In the courting stage?
Both.
Okay. So, like, all right, I have to do a number because it's like courting stage, let's say, what, 2 months? How long is it courting stage?
Let's say 2 months.
2 months,
yeah.
okay, cool. 2 months he spends on you accumulatively $5K. Is that good?
Was like a dinner? Like I feel like maybe it was a
Multiple
dinner, was it gifts? Like
gifts,
I mean,
yeah.
I never looked at it like, oh, he has to hit this
it.
number. I never quantified
Okay,
it.
never quantified it.
Yeah, so that's hard to answer.
Okay. Let's say y'all go on 2 dates, 2 months. That's it. What do you think?
He don't like you like that for real.
For real?
No.
Okay.
So
if
you're saying if he spent unless he's so busy, but
how many days?
How many days?
Good in 2 months, yeah.
I feel like there has to be a genuine effort to want to see someone. Like, for instance,
just in general.
if you, I got to clear this up because if you're saying a date is we're going out to dinner and, we're spending money, I'm spending money on you because we're going out to dinner. But I also say, like, it can't just be, we're just going out to dinner in every weekend.
Facts.
I think that it's cute to do stuff like, I want to see you, and they create some type of special occasion around seeing you. I don't know. So that's why I'm saying it's hard to quantify the number of, dates and the number of the amount of money because it's like, when you know. Like
the main reason
I want to know, yes.
is because, as men, what we like, you know what I'm saying? Obviously we are sexual creatures. It just is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the talk around is, if I spend money, I feel like I got to get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So the male is like, okay, in the courting stage, if I spent this much money, you know what I'm saying, or I did all of this, when does sex come? When does that become basically like mandatory? I guess, you know what I'm saying? Does it ever become mandatory? Can a man spend a large amount of money and feel like he's not obligated to get to not have any sex in the courting stage? So I was wondering what your opinion is on that. Like, is that an okay thing? Or is it like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about that?
I think it's the same thing. So if a guy is deciding in his mind, I'm okay with parting from X amount of money,
right,
and he has that choice, the woman has the choice of saying, I am making a conscious decision that I'm going to be willing to make the choice that if either this is the amount of money or if this is the amount of time or this is the feeling that I have. If she makes that decision, I think it's the same thing. It's the same equivalent to him saying, I'm willing to part with this money. She's saying, I'm willing to do this because I feel this way or because I want this. So that's why I say it has to be something where it is mutual and that, like, you're not doing this. I mean, you could be doing it to have sex with her. That's fine. That's not the problem. It's when you become a liar or you're trying to manipulate in that regard where you're like, okay,
I'm gonna do all this just to have sex with you.
Just to have sex.
Instead of having
not communicating it too.
That's the one.
That's what it is. It's the non-communication. It's the, okay, like, cause like, let's say a guy spent $5,000 in 2 months, right? And then the girl's like, okay, I'm ready to have sex. And she has sex and then he disappears right after that. That is so weird.
That is weird.
I'm not saying like, okay, you know what I mean? Like,
but
to me, that's weird because he didn't
left.
communicate. Because to me, it's like maybe he was just communicating like, I'm having fun. Like, I'm not really trying to do too much. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. If that's what it is, just be clear about that. But I don't know. I would never understand from you guys' perspective what it means to, be, I guess, in the position of like, having to spend money on someone or a certain level of understanding, like, okay, once I hit this threshold, I should be given this. What I mean?
And I think that's kind of what some of us go through is like, damn it. But I never went into a relationship going like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I done spent this much and I should get this. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you kind of understand when y'all going to get to that anyway. In my opinion, I've always felt like, okay, yeah, we're going in this direction. This is going to happen sometime soon. You know what I'm saying? Money or not, like, just you could kind of sense it. But yeah, what do you think, man?
At the end of the day, bro, it's just all about choices. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, don't base everything off money. If you really like that individual, go ahead and go do your thing. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Good or bad, is always going to be a consequence.
True. I mean, men, with her, to answer her question, in my opinion, it's always been a gut feeling. There's no, like you said earlier, there's no guideline. You just got to know who the person is. Don't be afraid. I think that's another thing. I think everybody's afraid to really go out there and really go into dating and trying to get to know that person and stuff. It's just, it's going to happen. You're going to have failures. You're going to have success. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Yep.
Just go for it. If you like the guy, go for it. Men, if you like the girl, go for it. Like, don't let stuff stop you. Just check out the experience for now. You can learn from it, whether you fail or not. You know what I'm saying? I think that's important. And have fun and be careful. You know what I'm saying? 100%.